Hey everyone out there, TJ the Blind Man with another sports video. This time I'm going to talk a little NASCAR and I'm going to cross it over into a little NFL with the whole Golden Tape's comments on Jimmy Johnson the other day. But first off, let's start out. Anyone saw the ESPYs the other night or read or heard it somewhere that Jimmy Johnson won the Male Athlete of the Year award, which kind of got some people in a little mini frenzy, but that's okay. I want to tell you why I think that's good for NASCAR, and I think it's good for one thing, to the rest of the sports world starting to recognize that not anybody can jump in these cars and drive 200 miles an hour for 4 hours, 500 miles, and bumper to bumper traffic. I mean, it's not like driving down the interstate with your grandma in the passenger seat just talking to her and listening to the radio. It's completely something much harder than that. It takes much more endurance, much more training than that. And I think the sports world is starting to recognize that. NASCAR fans have always recognized that, but I think the rest of the sports world is starting to now. And on the second level, I think we've always said that Junior was the most popular driver in NASCAR, and I think in NASCAR, amongst the fans that watch racing week to week, every week during the season, I think Junior is still the most popular driver. I mean, we saw that back in the All-Star race when he got voted in to the main race at the All-Star race when he clearly didn't deserve to be in the main race because he wasn't an All-Star this year. I'm kind of like Derek Jeter. I mean, people made a big fuss about Derek Jeter getting voted in for the Yankees to the baseball All-Star game this past week. But same thing with racing. I mean, we vote for our favorite drivers, just like Junior getting into the All-Star race. But I think outside of NASCAR, for them fans who doesn't watch every race or doesn't watch no races, they just know they just see the highlights on ESPN and they just know the drivers' names. I think Jimmy Johnson is probably the most popular driver out there right now. And because his Junior's never won the Male Athlete of the Year award. He's won a lot of NASCAR awards that people vote on, but outside of NASCAR, it's Jimmy Johnson that wins all the awards that people vote on. So I think Jimmy Johnson, with his success over the last 5 years, has definitely chipped into that fan base of Junior, and he's definitely got him a fan base outside of NASCAR. So I definitely want all my NASCAR fans that watch this video to please post a comment and let me know, who do you think is the most popular right now, Jimmy Johnson or Junior? Because I'm clearly seeing Johnson getting a lot more awards of lately that people vote on. So I definitely want the NASCAR fans to let me know what you think. Now, switching to Golden Tape and his comments about Jimmy Johnson. I don't know if you've heard this, but Wednesday night when it was announced on ESPN that Jimmy Johnson won the Male Athlete Award of the Year, Golden Tape, a receiver for Seattle Seahawks in the NFC West in the NFL, came out and tweeted that he didn't know how Jimmy Johnson was the Male Athlete of the Year. All he did was driving a race every week. And we just talked about this earlier in my video, but I'm about to go off on Golden Tape a little bit, okay? First off, you're not even a starting receiver. You're a backup receiver for one of the worst teams and one of the worst divisions in the NFL. Wow. The winner of your division last year had an 8-8 record, and it wasn't you, Seattle. Why wasn't it you, Seattle? Because you don't have no receiver that can catch the ball. Maybe if your backup receivers would get off the bench and actually do a little practice and a little workout during this lockout that your league is having, Golden Tape, maybe you wouldn't be spending so much time on the bench this coming up year. How are you going to criticize a guy who's won 5 championships in a row in his sport, but you can't even start for your team in your sport? And another thing, you want to throw out the NASCAR fans are rednecks? Wow, where is this country coming to? If we see a white athlete come out and, let's just say, drops the N-word on TV or Twitter, or we see an athlete come out and use a gay slur, kind of like James Harrison this past week of the Pittsburgh Steelers, we are the first ones to jump on it and demand an apology. Whatever groups out there, gay groups, the NCAAP, and whatever groups out there is the first ones to jump up and demand an apology from these athletes. So why aren't we seeing some of these groups jump up and demand an apology from Golden Tape? I mean, is it okay to use just the redneck word and as random when you're a black athlete talking about white fans? I mean, in Seattle, is this really the guy you want on your team, even as a backup? And while you're going to call for the 12th man to back you up, Golden Tate, which, by the way, is what they call their fans out there in Seattle, the 12th man don't even have your back during the football season because you spend most of your time on the bench. So why don't you get up and work out a little bit before this lockout ends in 2 to 3 days, hopefully, Golden Tate, and get your muscles built up and try to get out there and perform for your team and actually give us some results to talk about instead of what you're tweeting. Alright folks, I want to thank you for watching. Please comment on my video and let me know what you think. On the race card, on Jimmy Johnson winning the male athlete, and who do you think the most popular driver in NASCAR is right now. Please let me know what you think about all of them, different subjects, and let me know what you think about my videos. Go back and watch some of my other videos on YouTube at TJtheblindman, and let me know what you think of all my videos, and let me know if you like them or not. And thank you for watching.